We welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda,
General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He has arrived and he is here with us right now. Our timekeeping is very good indeed.
His Excellency, the President and the First Lady, you are welcome to NTC Grounds, Kabale, the venue for this year's Tarehe Sita celebrations.
Today's 45th Tarehe Sita parade is commanded by Colonel Sam Nsubuga, and he is assisted by Major. We have the color party. Under the command of Captain Patrick James Egolo, and he is assisted by Lieutenant Patricia Mpirwa. The main band of Uganda People's Defense Forces, Uganda Police Force, and Uganda Prison Service, the Uganda Police Force, Uganda Prisons Service, and the Uganda smartly dressed officers and men of the UPDF, the Uganda Police Force, of the parade by his President and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF. He will come to his position, and thereafter we will have a word of concludes his parade inspection and moves back to his position. We will have a word of prayer. Your Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief, I request that we remain standing as I invite the religious leaders to come and give us a word of
well for our own growth, for our livelihood, for the service of each other, and for your greater glory. Heavenly Father, I pray for the abundance.
Praise be to thee, the Cherishams. Lord, as we celebrate this commemoration, we again seek your divine prosperity, peaceful coexistence. Lord, we thank you for that, and we indeed pray that you will continue to render the necessary divine guidance so that this nation continues to prosper. In your mighty name we pray.
Lord, I have today, as we commemorate and remember those who were there in
of Uganda, is the Honorable Vice President, Major Retired Jessica Honorable Echodu, Honorable Ministers present and Ministers of State, Senior Presidential with us is the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable. Invite His Excellency the President to address the audience and the nation at large. There are a lot of people in our midst who receive various medals, and at some point, the Master of Ceremonies of the Chancery, Brigadier Richard Karemire, will also come and take us through that activity. Without further ado, our chief guest, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, let me take the honor to invite the Parade Commander,
Sawa. Warita tosha kwa Rais wa Jamhuri wa Uganda, kwa wananchi wa Uganda na kwa jeshi la ulinzi la nchi ya Uganda. Viva Rais ya Uganda! Viva wananchi wa Uganda! Viva jeshi la ulinzi la wananchi wa Uganda! Wake up! Badilisha, stand up! Go, punch it!
A very big round of applause to the parade commander, Colonel Rugwira, and the entire parade participants. It has been a very beautiful parade in a very beautiful weather. Your Excellency, we also recognize the honorable members of parliament here. You are all welcome. As I had earlier mentioned, I will now proceed to invite the Joint Staff Political Commissar, UPDF, Major General Henry Masco, to come and present his report on the very numerous Tarehe Sita Defense Forces activities that have been taking place since November 2025. Today is the climax, but a lot has been happening. And I'm very sure and confident that the Joint Staff Political Commissar has a very rich report which he will share with His Excellency the President, the First Lady, and Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, and the entire audience very, very shortly.
Naomba kuendelea, Your Excellency. Your Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, and our President-elect, Mama Janet Museveni, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Your Excellency the Vice President, Your Lordship the Chief Justice, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the senior leaders who are the Prime Ministers Emeritus, Right Honorable Mama Mbabazi, Right Honorable Hakana Rugunda, members of the Central Executive Committee of the National Resistance Movement present, Your Excellencies, the Ambassadors and High Commissioners, the former Deputy Chief Justice, Honorable Ministers and Ministers of State present, senior presidential advisors present, our Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and your colleague and other senior government technocrats, our Chief of Defense Forces, and Special Presidential Advisor, Special Operations, the Deputy CDF, members of the High Command, the service commanders, the Chief of Joint Staff, the Inspector General of Police, the Commissioner General of Uganda Prison Services, the Director General ISO, the Director General ESO, the Head of Public Service and Secretary to Cabinet, honorable members of Parliament, our distinguished visiting military delegations, the defense advisors and military attaches, our distinguished religious leaders and cultural leaders present, the many district leaders of Kigezi sub-region and beyond present, general officers, senior officers of our security forces, officers and militants of UPDF, all the distinguished invited guests, all people present here from the Kigezi region and Uganda at large, ladies and gentlemen, a good afternoon. I am Major General Henry Masco Darubweine, the Joint Staff Political Commissar of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, here to present a brief report to Your Excellency about the 45th anniversary Defense Forces activities, and also use the opportunity to highlight the significance of the Fronasa monument that you have unveiled this morning. Your Excellency, on behalf of the Defense Organizing Committee, headed by our Chief of Joint Staff, and on my own behalf, allow me to welcome Your Excellency and all our distinguished guests to the 45th anniversary celebrations of the birth of the People's Army, the Uganda People's Defense Forces, that is being witnessed here today at Kabale National Teachers Playground. Happy birthday is what brings us here. Your Excellency, allow me, before I go into the report, to use this singular honor to express our deepest congratulations on your well-deserved landslide victory in the recently concluded polls. Your Excellency, we particularly salute your extraordinary campaign trail characterized by rich articulation of the gains of the People's Revolution, and most important, guaranteeing that the country held one of the most peaceful elections witnessed not only nationally, but also in the standards of the region in the recent times. Your Excellency, in a special way, in that context, I want to pay special gratitude to our Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor Special Operations for having steered us well under the banner of the National Election Mobilization Security Task Force. Your Excellency, we received a leadership unprecedented that delivered your intent to have a stable and peaceful environment that delivered the peaceful elections. Your Excellency, let me grab this opportunity on behalf of the 10 newly elected members of Parliament to represent UPDF in the 12th Parliament to sincerely thank you and the CDF for the honor and trust granted to us to represent the mighty UPDF yet another time as a deployment in Parliament. We pledge not to let your trust down, especially in maintaining the objectives you set for UPDF MPs while in the House. Let me now go to the gist of my report. Your Excellency, the 45th Tarehe Sita anniversary is being celebrated under the theme Defending the Gains of the Revolution and Honoring the Sacrifices of Freedom Fighters, a call for national unity, peace, and socio-economic transformation. Your Excellency, today is the climax of one of the most elaborate series of Defense Forces activities that commenced way back in November last year, 2025. This particular anniversary was deliberately conducted in phases to take care of the visa period of the electoral programs. As a result, the timelines for this year's activities were as follows. There was a brief to the national leaders hailing from Kigezi region in November on 11th, 2025. There was a brief to the media on 12th November 2025. Our civil engineers inserted in the region and other parts of the country to commence construction activities of our quick impact projects. The national launch held at the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs Joint Headquarters was held on 18th November 2025, and on that same day we had a special luncheon for corporates and MDAs who normally cooperate with us in conducting this anniversary. The Joint Staff Political Commissar and media teams reached this region on 29th November 2025 with a big team of our medical personnel reaching this region from first and conducted their activities up to 15th December 2025. Your Excellency, as is our tradition, we held a series of ideological seminars in the region, notable one for the youth leaders, another for interreligious leaders and our veterans between 1st to 7th December. Thereafter, there were a regional launch at Sorosaza ground, commencing the activities in the region, and this was graced by the Right Honorable Prime Minister on 2nd December 2025. There were district launches on 3rd December, commencing activities in all the 6 districts of the region. We withdrew a bit, and in January on 2nd, our teams returned to the region, and the purpose was to hand over the civil engineers' quick impact projects in very colorful functions graced by the Wananchi and a number of political leaders. Today is the climax when we are witnessing the real anniversary of our 45th birthday. Like it has been the case for the past Tarehe Sita celebrations, the Defense Forces activities are conducted across the country and in all mission areas where UPDF is deployed. Following Your Excellency's approval, the 45th Tarehe Sita national activities have been now hosted by Kigezi sub-region in the 6 districts of Kabale, Rukunjiri, Kanungu, Soro, Rubanda, and Ruchiga. Your Excellency, the choice of Kigezi as the host of these National Defense Forces activities was a very correct choice. It is an acknowledgement of the region's links with the revolutionary causes, right from independence movement, the anti-Amin resistance, and the solid support the NRM revolution has enjoyed in this region to date. Kigezi stands out as one of the regions that embraces and has embraced the principled ideology of patriotism, Pan-Africanism, and modernization. Kigezi has over the years overcome the hitherto bad politics of identity and is on a steady path of embracing modernization for socio-economic transformation. Your Excellency, we need to remind the country that in the early phase of the nationalist politics of independence, one of the iconic figures of Uganda National Congress hailed from Kisoro in the names of John Kigezi, the dad of our General Karekeyura, who closely worked with Ignatius Musazi in that pioneering role. Other household names from this region in the era of independence include John Bikangaga, Gwankosa, Babu Chika, Elnesen Bisamunyu, Zeikarekaho, to mention but a few. But close to Tarehe Sita activities, we wish to remember that in Your Excellency's earlier efforts of revolutionary struggles, some of your close allies were sons of this region. Right Honorable Hakana Rugunda, Right Honorable Mama Mbabazi, Honorable Masuru Chirikeire, Honorable Jackie Mbabazi, others including but not limited to the late Sepi Mukombe Mpambara, and others who are in our book of the synopsis. The anti-Amin resistance was embraced by other Kigezi personalities who should be recognized. Some indeed paid the ultimate price of shedding blood. Notable ones include the late Joseph Bitwari, late James Karambulizi, the late David Kagorokanjire, the late James Vilihanze, late Professor Karimuzo, the first black Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, the late Kabagambe Esaza, Chief of Kisoro, Kasaza, who was a dad of one of our entrepreneurs here, Sifas Birunji. Others unsung and well-known include Rutachi Besigensi, Isidoro Tirwomwe, Wilson Niyonzima, Sam Mutabazi Rutagarukayo, Eric Birgeija, Rwambuka, and this one is still alive, Peter Bukokos, Bernard Kayari, and Kakulu, father of the late Azizi Kwesiga, and unknown to many personalities who did clandestine work included the likes of Bishop Barnabas Haremana, Bishop Festo Chivenjere and Merabu Chivenjere, Father Vianney Kamari, Pope Chivenjere, Ambassador Matogo, Shemu Bageine, Edson Tuliagenda, Nicholas and Rosette Bjengoma, William Babigumira, Ambassador Kangwaje, Stephen, Professor Tebire Emmanuel, just to mention a few. The detailed list is in our synopsis booklet. There are some amazing ladies I want to introduce to you, Your Excellency, who were outstanding in choosing politics of unity. Mukeikuru Bakamunaga in Bugonji, she stood out to embrace politics of unity when others were in the traditional sectarian politics. There is Omukeikuru Victor Bindeba, who is here today, of Rukunjire Nas, who supported our member who used to recruit fighters in Rukunjiri. Some of the highlights of the 25-26 Defense Forces activities include: 1, the political and ideological seminars for youth, which I've talked about, and significantly we had interaction with the university students who were on holiday, with symposia in the districts of Rukuchiga, Kabale, Rukunjiri, and Rubanda. Our district mobilization teams, together with other security forces, CIMIC forces, cleaned and engaged in exercises of Bulungi Bwansi as a sign, as a signal of paying back to the population and showing an example. In all the districts, our teams planted many trees in areas that had earlier been identified and confirmed between us and the district leaders. Your Excellency, a solid team of UPDF generals, officers, and junior officers from our commissariat and other departments at the Joint Headquarters carried out a number of CIMIC activities. I would wish to particularly point out this team led by Brigadier Michael Chibuye, head of CIMIC engagements, Brigadier Justice Rukundo, who led the Rukunjiri initiative, Colonel Nelson Ahebwa, who coordinated the team, Colonel K. Rukogota, who headed the Rubanda effort, Colonel Asaba, who headed the youth mobilization efforts, Colonel Francis Byabigwamu, who headed the seminars for the religious leaders, Colonel Francis Xavier Bakehena, who headed our medical team in the region, Lieutenant Colonel Godfrey Rwabujumbure, who led the solo efforts, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Kamuntu, who led efforts in Kabale, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Nimanya, who led efforts in Ruchiga, Lieutenant Colonel Sam Tungura in Kanungu, and Major Engineer Albert Mukama, who headed our construction teams, which carried out very, very impactful CBD projects. Your Excellency, some of the light engineering projects that were undertaken in all the 6 districts and were officially handed over to the beneficiaries on the 6th January were mainly construction of classroom blocks, 8 of them, construction of culvert bridges, 8 of them, construction of sanitary facilities, 7 of them, construction of some staff accommodation blocks, 7 of them, and construction of some health facilities, particularly maternity wards, 2 of them, and construction of a 20-store market structure, and lastly, 2 monuments, one which you have commissioned in the stadium, Kabale, and also the fencing of the Saza grounds in Iksoro. Your Excellency, the details are well documented in our synopsis book. The medical surgical camps, which started on 1st December and operated for a period of 14 days in the 6 districts of the region, covered a total of 50,425 patients, 15,142 males, 35,000 females. These were attended to by our static and mobile medical teams, and in all, significantly, 578 general surgeries were conducted. We also had a number of donations. Other highlights included our formal education and sports activities, where we donated to schools. We had patriotic debates in secondary schools on the theme. We had very, very engaging sports activities, which actually ended yesterday. And Wananchi in this district, in this region, really felt the warmth of the UPDF and themselves as partners. Your Excellency, let me use this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the special support offered by some patriotic Ugandans, MDAs, and corporate entities who always donate generously and support us in these activities. Significantly, we salute the Commissioner General Uganda Prison Services. He renovated function in person, we do not take this for granted, Your Excellency. We want to salute the CDF who steadily guided this process up to date. We want to also thank the political leadership of the Ministry of Defense for supporting the Defense Organizing Committee. And I want to salute the team headed by the Chief of Joint Staff who have steered this function to date. Your Excellency, briefly allow me to highlight what went on at the stadium this morning as you commissioned the monument, the Fronasa monument, this day. The significance of such monuments, like the one you have unveiled at Kabale Stadium, Your Excellency and countrymen, the nation and mainly the young generation needs to understand the significance of the event that has been performed in the stadium this morning. Quoting from Your Excellency own account, in the second edition of Sowing the Mustard Seed, The Struggle for Freedom and Democracy in Uganda, pages 102 to 105, under the subtitle, A Rare Form of Bravery, you as the author, Your Excellency, points out the circumstances that culminated to the events of 10 February 1973, when Idi Amin carried out public executions by firing squad of some arrested Fronasa cadres in a number of parts of Uganda. According to Your Excellency's account on page 104, in Kabale, those who were executed were John Bitwari, James Karambuzi, and David Kagorokanjire. On the same day, in Mbarara, Karuhanga Akamu Harabu was executed. In Fort Potro, the same day, Malibo and Kasolo were executed. In Igulu, Labeja and Obona were executed. In Jinja, Ntale and Nkoko were executed. And in Mbale, Abatalumanya Captain Masaba and Namirudu were also executed. According to the same account, on the Kabale victims, you point out that James Bitwari and Karambuzi had been betrayed by a deserter from the bush in the bushes of Chiterera in Mayuge, while Kanjire was arrested in Iguru, having been betrayed by Ewanu Latigo. It is the same Latigo who betrayed Rwaheru and Karuhanga of Chambogo from Nasa Cell by causing the arrest of Kanjire, who had used Chambogo as a transit point. The same Latigo betrayed Labeja and Obona, while Malibo and Kasolo had been arrested on mere suspicion. Therefore, building monuments to preserve such a history is very essential, Your Excellency. For the monument in Kabale Stadium, I am honored to give an account as a witness who was present as a young spectator. Idi Amin, after arresting what he dubbed the guerrillas, decreed that he would conduct a public execution by firing squad of those under his custody. The notice for public execution was run on national radio for over a week, a matter that was intended to instill fear and terror. Indeed, he decreed the 10th February 1973, a Saturday, to be exact 12 noon, as the time of spontaneous execution. For the event in Kabale, the public was mobilized to be seated in the stadium as early as 9 hours. At about 11 hours, a convoy of lorries and small jeeps sneaked down the Makanga Hill, overlooking the entire Kabale town, intended clearly to advertise what was about to happen. The 3 victims were openly being paraded on one of the jeeps, heavily guarded. Once the convoy reached post office, it sneaked through the streets of Kabale, entering the stadium from the current Christ the King Church direction. Your Excellency, the rain has sabotaged my written, but I have it in my head. Once the convoy reached the stadium, one lorry, which was bringing the firing party, parked near where the monument has been erected. Another lorry full of prisoners to evacuate the bodies once the execution is finished was also on another side. And the jeep carrying the victims went straight to the wall where we have erected the monument, and the commander followed in the jeep. And a few minutes to noon, the bishop, late Festo Chivengere, was given opportunity to go and pray for the victims and also take messages, their last messages to their families. The bishop nearly delayed the execution time, which was to be exactly at noon, hence being dragged by the commander himself and placing him behind the lines of the firing party. The bishop, seeing that now he was almost part of the firing party, decided to wave at the victims. As the victims tried to raise their hands, bullets went off, and the whole stadium was filled with grief, darkness, and agony. Thereafter, the lorry which had been brought with the prisoners dashed to the scene, put in the bodies, and dashed off to an unknown destination. An unknown destination because the graves of those three have never been traced. Your Excellency, this was a small citation of what you did there for purposes of the members of the public who didn't attend. Once again, I want to thank Your Excellency for gracing this occasion, for continuous guiding us, and wish all Ugandans happy 45th Tarehe Sita anniversary celebrations. I want to thank you. Aluta continua.
Thank you very much, the Joint Staff Political Commissar, Major General Henry Masco, for that elaborate Tarehe presentation, and what he has just recited now, the horrors of the 1970s under Idi Amin Dada. Your Excellency, also permit me to recognize the following distinguished guests in our midst. The third Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Nakadama, you are welcome, and we are happy to have you here with us. The Inspector General of Police, Abbas Yakagawa, we are also humbled to have you here with us. Your Excellency, we also have retired generals and senior officers, but I will just recognize two for now. We have the former Inspector General of Police, retired General Kale Kaihura, you are welcome, and former Deputy Chief of Defense Forces, retired General Ivan Koreta. Your Excellency, we also have defense attaches who have braved the distance and the Tarehe to join us here. And we are joined by the Defense Attaché from Sudan, Major General Faizo Ali. You are welcome. The Defense Attaché from the United States of America, Lieutenant Colonel Chris Noumba, you are welcome. The Defense Attaché from France, Lieutenant Colonel Sebastian Baga, you are welcome. We also have Your Excellency, the Kenyan High Commissioner to Uganda, Ambassador Joash Mangi, and the High Commissioner of Tanzania to Uganda, His Excellency Bunto. You are all welcome. We are proceeding with the program as scheduled despite the rain. This is a blessing, so we should take it in very good faith indeed. Without further ado, I take the pleasure to invite the Joint Staff Human Resource Management UPDF, Major General James Chinalwa, to come and present the outstanding junior officer of the UPDF for the year 2025. This is a new initiative courtesy of our Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations. I believe this will be great motivation for the junior officers and other officers of UPDF going forward. The Joint Staff Human Resource Management will present him and the process of selection, and thereafter he will march to the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations to receive his award, and thereafter the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations will give his remarks, and thereafter we will continue and proceed with the program. Joint Staff Human Resource Management UPDF, Major General Chinalwa, you're welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, allow me right on the protocol observed. I'm Major General James Chinalwa, the Joint Staff Human Resource Management of the UPDF. Your Excellency, I'm here to present the outstanding junior officer for the award of the CDF for the year 2025. Your Excellency, sir, UPDF under the stewardship of the Chief of Defense Forces and the Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, introduced an annual award to recognize an outstanding UPDF junior officer within the ranks of second lieutenant to the rank of the major. Your Excellency, the award is aimed at promoting excellence, discipline, leadership, and professionalism within the lower-ranking officers by recognizing their individual outstanding competencies. Your Excellency, sir, the CDF guided on the selection criteria to determine the officer's performance, and these criteria included, among others, discipline, the physical fitness, moral and physical courage, integrity, leadership traits, the professional competence, as well as general performance in the field of work, among other parameters. In addition to the selection criteria, Your Excellency, the assessment was further supported with officers' annual confidential report, peer rating, the 22 critical requirements of an officer, oral and written exams, as well as vetting by the Chief of Defense Intelligence and Security to assess the officer's track record. Your Excellency, the selection process was done at three levels of command: the tactical level, operational level, and strategic level. The exercise started at the tactical level of command, that's the level of a battalion, regiment or squadron, to the brigades, the divisions, up to the operational level, that is the service headquarters, where each service of UPDF selected a winner who finally competed at the strategic level. The following officers emerged as service winners: Resistance Officer 09856, Major Anthony Kamoga Muonge of the 171 Field Engineer Regiment, emerged the winner of the Special Forces Command. Your Excellency, Major Anthony Muonge was born in Matete village. I would request the officer to come forward and stand near the CDF so that he can be seen. Major Anthony Muonge was born in Matete village, Matete Parish, Matete Sub-County, Maogola County, Sembabule District, to the late Emmanuel Muonge and Mrs. Muonge Banath on the 28th of March, 1982. He holds a diploma in civil engineering from Chambogo University. He joined the Army on the 28th of September 2001 and was later commissioned on 8th November 2002. Currently, he is the regiment commanding officer of 171 Field Engineer Regiment of the Special Forces Command. Your Excellency, the second service winner is Resistance Officer 12961, Captain Andrew Asio Opus of the School of Defense Intelligence and Security, who emerged the winner of the Joint Service Headquarter Brigade Group. Captain Andrew Opus Asio was born in Kakere Atitiri village, Kakere Atitiri Parish, Bukedia Sub-County, Bukedia County, in the present-day Bukedia District, to the late Opus John Francis Emokori and late Asio Florence Emokori on the 3rd of May, 1992. He holds a Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education from Mongola High School. He joined the Army on the 4th of August 2011 and was later commissioned on 15th September 2012. He is currently an instructor or directing staff at School of Defense Intelligence and Security, Nigeria. The third, Your Excellency, is Resistance Officer 14438, Lieutenant Moses Odong of the 302 Ground-Based Air Defense Regiment, who emerged the winner of Air Force as a service. Lieutenant Moses Odong was born in Aburatung village, Ongogoja Parish, Ongogoja Sub-County, Usuku County, Katakwi District, to Mr. Otukei Faustine and Mrs. Otlem Lake on the 17th of December, 1987. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Agricultural Land Use and Management from Makerere University. He joined the Army on the 7th of October, 2013, and later commissioned on 8th of February 2019. He is currently an instructor at Uganda Air Force College, Nakasongola. And the fourth who emerged the winner is Resistance Officer 16633, Lieutenant Shem Begiraje of School of Artillery and Air Defense. He emerged the winner of Land Forces. Lieutenant Shem Bagiraje was born in Insozi Village, Chambogo Parish, Ntusi Sub-County, Remiaga County, in the present-day Sembabule District, to Mr. Baria Nathan and Mrs. Chomugisha Merab on the 7th of August, 1995. He holds a Bachelor's of Defense Studies from Makerere University. He joined the Army on the 17th of November, 2017, and was later commissioned on the 9th of February, 2022. He is currently an Arms Equipment Officer, directing staff at School of Artillery and Air Defense. Your Excellency, at the strategic level, a panel of retired and serving general, senior officers, and Defense Forces Major was constituted to interview and select an outstanding junior officer amongst the 4 service winners. The composition of the panel, which was chaired by Lieutenant General Retired Nakibu Sirakara, composed of the following: Brigadier General Retired Emmanuel Musinguzi, Brigadier General Michael Sozi Sesanga, the Commandant Non-Commissioned Officers Academy, Brigadier General Charity Bainobabo, Director Women Affairs, Brigadier General Alan Kalanzi, the Commandant of Uganda Air Force College, Brigadier General Retired Rebecca Mpaji, Colonel Hambo Nicholas Nyesiga, who represented the Directorate of Intelligence and Security, Colonel Nelson Ahebwa, who represented Joint Staff Political Commissar, and Warrant Officer Ekirita Patrick, the Defense Forces Major. Your Excellency, the panel, after interviewing the 4, using the set criteria and all the parameters put in place, the final score was as follows. Resistance Officer 09856, Major Anthony Kamoga Muonge, scored 83.24%. Resistance Officer 12961, Captain Andrew Asio Pusi, scored 85.19%. Resistance Officer 14438, Lieutenant Moses Odong, scored 86.71%. And Resistance Officer 16633, Lieutenant Shem Bagiraje, scored 72.69%. It's now my humble request, Your Excellency, to invite the Chief of Defense Forces to present certificates of recognition to all the 4 service winners, and thereafter invite you, Your Excellency, to award the outstanding junior officer who scored the highest mark of 86.71%, who is none other than our Resistance Officer 14438, Lieutenant Moses Odong of 302 Ground-Based Air Defense Regiment, who represented Air Force, as the winner of the Chief of Defense Force Award for the Outstanding Junior Officer for the year 2025. And he is awarded with 10 million Uganda shillings and a certificate of recognition. CDF, sir. CDF, sir, may you also request His Excellency, when he has already awarded the Best Outstanding Officer, to grant a photo opportunity with the 4 finalists and the Deputy CDF Service Commanders and the Chair of the panel to accompany you and the CDF during the photo taking. Your Excellency, I submit.
Thank you very much. Joint Staff Human Resource Management, UPDF, Major General James Chinalwa, for the very elaborate presentation of the procedural process of identifying the most outstanding junior officer for the year 2025. This is an inaugural prize, and it has set the ball rolling for the years ahead. The Uganda People's Defense Forces is built on the firm and unwavering footing of discipline. This is therefore a very good moment to encourage discipline, hard work, and professionalism among the officers and men of the UPDF. Congratulations to the winner for the well-deserved and well-earned award. Your Excellency, the President, and our distinguished guests present, let me also take the opportunity to recognize the Defense Attaché of Rwanda here with us, Colonel Ruzindana. You are also welcome. Without further ado, Your Excellency and Chief Guest, I want to take the pleasure now to invite the Chief of Defense Forces, the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. You are welcome to give your remarks and also introduce the visiting defense delegations from our partners and allies in the region. The floor is yours, CDF, sir.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the EPDF, I will start by recognizing the military delegations that have come to join us on this 45th celebration of Tarehe Sita. I'll ask them to stand up when I mention them. The first delegation is led by the Chief of General Staff of the Armed Forces of the Central African Republic, General Zephyrin Mamadou. If you can please stand up. The second delegation is led by Chief of Staff of the Reserve Forces of Rwanda, Major General Alex Kagame. The third delegation is led by Commander of the Kenya Army, Lieutenant General David Kabale. The third delegation from Tanzania is led by Chief of Personnel, Major General Marco Gaguti. The fourth delegation is from DRC, led by Major General Bruno Mandevu, Sector Commander, Ituri Province. So those are the delegations that have come to join us this Tarehe Sita. Your Excellency, allow me to follow the protocol that was already enumerated by the Joint Staff Political Commissariat, and in the interests of time, go straight to the speech. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, I greet you all and welcome you to Kabale for the 45th edition of Tarehe Sita. It is by the grace of Almighty God that we are all gathered here in this place during this new year of 2026. I hope the festive season treated you all kindly. It is my humble prayer that God grants you your dreams and aspirations for the year that lies ahead. I congratulate the people of Uganda for peacefully exercising their democratic right in the just concluded presidential, parliamentary, and local council elections. The people of Uganda have indeed vindicated themselves very well. Well done to all Ugandans, and Happy New Year to all of you. Your Excellency, on my own behalf and on behalf of the officers and men of the UPDF and the entire security system in Uganda, we offer our profound congratulations to you upon your well-deserved election victory. The most decisive election victory since 1996. It is also quite comforting that, save for a few isolated cases, security was observed in most parts of the country throughout the electoral process. Voters went about the business of electing their leaders in a serene, calm, and secure environment. As a consequence, the 2026 general elections are already being called the most peaceful elections on record. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, the people of Uganda delivered this election victory to you because they know and understand better than anybody your value as a leader. What is more, the people of the wider Great Lakes region also celebrated this victory. This is because Your Excellency's vision, leadership, and successes are no longer only enjoyed by the people of Uganda alone. Your vision and successes transcend the borders of Uganda. Save for a few naysayers, the true believers in Africa's destiny and independence are all celebrating Your Excellency's victory across the continent. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, I and the entire military leadership and the men and women of the UPDF once again pledge our unwavering loyalty as you embark on the renewed popular mandate granted to you by the people of Uganda from 2026 to 2031. We will steadfastly support you as you continue to uplift the people of Uganda to the upper middle income status, and as you continue to sustain the socioeconomic transformation journey and achieve strategic security for the people of East Africa and the continent. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, the theme of this year's Tarehe Sita is aptly titled Defending the Gains of the Revolution and Honoring the Sacrifices of the Freedom Fighters, a call for national unity, peace, and socioeconomic transformation. National unity, peace, and socioeconomic transformation, among others, are ideals that have from the beginning informed and propelled the revolution. The firm foundation upon which the country is anchored today was made possible because of the sacrifices of our people and our predecessors, including those in the Kigezi sub-region. The responsibility now lies with all Ugandans to make sure that the gains of the revolution are never lost but are secured and further built upon for the progress of Uganda, the region, and Africa at large. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, on this occasion of Tarehe Sita, I wish to specifically highlight three issues for the people gathered here and the country at large. These are the overall security situation in the country, the ongoing UPDF operational engagements, and the welfare of the defense forces. On the matter of the security of the country, the entire country is peaceful from north to south, east to west. Contrary to the threats that were peddled by some hostile actors in the lead-up to the elections, the country has had the most peaceful and decisive elections since 1996. The electorate largely heeded our advice to vote and then go home without causing any trouble. Due to incitement to violence by some opposition actors, there were criminal gangs who tried to stir up trouble in some parts of Kampala, in Butambala, Mukono, Sembabule, Jinja, and Luero after the elections on the 15th of January. The security forces dealt with the troublemakers promptly, arresting and charging scores of suspects in the courts of law. Many were remanded and are awaiting trial by the courts. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, I therefore pay tribute and thank all the members of the security forces for the job well done. They were able to maintain peace and security throughout the country during this election period and prior to that during the festive season. been carried out in this region since November 2025. This is our traditional humble appreciation to the people of Uganda for the great support and cooperation. Finally, Your Excellency, I take this honor to recognize, I've already recognized the election. On that note, I thank Your Excellency and invite his guests for listening to me. Mungu pamoja nasi. UPDF, hurrah!
Thank you very much, the Chief of Defense Forces.
Mheshimiwa Rais, huo ndio mwisho wa gwaride. Naomba kutoa bendera uwanjani, Mheshimiwa Rais.
The parade commander, Colonel Rugwira, is asking for permission from the chief guest, His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, to march the parade of the parade square, and that permission has been granted. Correct has too much on. So that might take another. So, yes, the parade has marched off the square, and in the interest of time, first, a big round of applause to the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for his very elaborate speech. And then secondly, I take the pleasure to invite the Honorable Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Maxon Oboth, to come and give his remarks, and thereafter invite the Chief Guest, His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief, to address the nation. Honorable Minister, you're welcome.
Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, and Mama, the First Lady and Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Uganda, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, the Right Honorable Third Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Ministers and members of Parliament present, the SEC members of the NRM party, the Chief of Defense Forces, the permanent secretaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, after listening to the Joint Staff, CPC, and Chief of Defense Forces, I intend not to read my speech because they have disabled me by speaking so well to the subject matter. And then I will just add a few things and introduce a few of the colleagues who have come and invite you. Your Excellency, we have several ministers here, and I had wanted them to stand up. I would have loved them to come here, but I know people like Honorable Kaloriem fears rain. We have Honorable Millie Babalanda, the Minister for Presidency. We have Honorable Major General Retired Jim Muhwezi, Minister of Security. We have Honorable Dr. Chris Bariomusi, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance. We have Honorable Raphael Majezi, the Minister of Local Government. Then we have Honorable General David Muhoozi, the Minister of State for Internal Affairs. I saw him somewhere. We have Honorable Okello Oryem, the massive Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. We have Honorable Bright Rwamirama, the Minister of State for Agriculture in charge of animal industry, husbandry. And Your Excellency is one of the most faithful ministers when we invite them to help us during this Tarehe Sita. We thank him again. Honorable Karyanga Godfrey, the Minister of State for ICT. Honorable Akello Rose Lily, the Minister of State for Ethics and Integrity. Honorable Anyakun Esther, the Minister of State for Labor. Honorable Mugasa Mary, Minister of State for Public Service. Honorable Dr. Okasai Opolot, Minister of State for Energy. Honorable Balam Bargahara Atenyi, the Youthful Minister, or Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs. Honorable, of course, Huda is here, Honorable Huda, our own Minister of State for Defense, in charge of veterans. Honorable David Bahati, Minister of State for Trade and Industry. Honorable Diana Mutasingwa, Minister of State in the Office of the Vice President. Honorable Alice Kaboyo, Minister of State for Luero Triangle. Honorable Musasizi Henry, Minister of State for Finance, General Duties. Honorable, these are former honorable. They put here Honorable Perez Ahabwe, Doctor, the former Minister of State for Local Government. Your Excellency, as you've been told, we have former leaders from this region who have graced this occasion. And we also have senior civil servants who are here. We have Madame Nachobe, the head of public service. We have Mr. Lino, Council Lino Anguzu, the DPP. We have also Deputy Inspector General of Government, Madam Anne Muhairwe. We have the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda. Our money is safe. Professor Dr. Augustus Nwagaba. And we have several members of parliament here. I would have asked them to come. There are quite many. But the rain is not allowing us to do that. We have permanent secretaries, Lieutenant General Joseph Musanyufu, PS Internal Affairs. We have Mr. Ben Kumomanya, PS Local Government. We have Dr. Amina Zawede, PS ICT and National Guidance. We have Honorable Vincent Bajire, PS Foreign Affairs. And we have our own Madam PS, Afande PS, Afande Rosette Biengoma, and her husband. Mr. Nicholas Biengoma is here. He's the great man behind the great lady. I don't know where he's seated. Mose Nicholas Biengoma is here. Another round of applause for him. So we have MPs elect and current members of parliament, but also we have SEC members. Quite a number of SEC members headed by Honorable Adrien Kobusinje, in charge of Women Affairs, SEC, NRM, Honorable Lieutenant Retired Mushabe Moses, Veterans, SEC. We have Honorable Ichodo Calvin, NRM Eastern, Vice Chairperson. We have Madame Chatuhaire, Honorable Chatuhaire Jacqueline. We have Honorable Fredo Match from the NRM Secretariat Electoral Commission. Honorable Juliana Modesta from the NRM Electoral Commission. We have Honorable Zaitun, the Commissioner, NRM We have Rukunjiri District Woman MP, Honorable Mary Paola Kebirunj. We have Rubabo MP, Honorable Matthias Rabugumi. We have Honorable Bruce Kabasa Valaba, Rubanda West. We have Honorable Evelyn Ninsima Kichafunda, Rubanda District Woman MP. Ruchiga County, we have Honorable Kichoncho Patrick Katabaz. Ruchiga District Woman MP, we have Honorable Dr. Sylvia Arinaitwe. Kanungu District Woman MP, we have Honorable Patience Kunda. Kanungu District Woman MP, we have Honorable Patience Kunda. Kisoro District Woman MP, we have Honorable Grace Ngabi Chifes Akifeza. I have it here as Honorable Grace Ngabiran. They knew Japadola was going to have problem pronouncing some names. We have Kisoro Municipality, we have Honorable Sam Biendesho. We have both Biendesho. We have Kumisiriza. We have Honorable Inid Municipality. We have Honorable Aja Andrew Barriat. We have Honorable Ndorwa West. We have Honorable Eli Misha. We have Honorable Dr. Protasio de Gumisha. And then also have a member of parliament, is Honorable Engineer Dr. John Bosco Koi. Butch. And we have Honorable Engineer Bufumbira South. Yes, General, your name was number one here, but they had the cross that you were not around. Rukunjiri Municipality, we have General Henry Tumukunde. Bufumbira North. Bufumbira North, Aviara, Honorable Aviara Fortunate. I think I've done my part, and see you in Kampala. Excellency, let me take this opportunity to thank you very much for creating this time to come and grace this occasion. And secondly, on behalf of my own self and the civilian staff of the ministry, your landslide victory overall in Uganda. Congratulations, Muzei. Your Excellency, I also want to thank the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda. She has never turned down our invitation for this event. You who have come always. With those so many words, Your Excellency, I want to take the honor to invite you to speak to this gathering.
Her Excellency, the Vice President of Uganda, and the Lordship of the Chief Justice, Deputy Speaker, all the other political leaders, CDF, and all the generals, and all the other leaders of the army, members of the diplomatic corps, mwena abakigabo ejaha mu rubuhoro je. First of all, I want to congratulate Ugandans and the freedom fighters and their descendants for the 5th anniversary of Tarehe Sita. Congratulations. As some people said, if you only talk of Tarehe Sita, you will not do justice to the history of Uganda. Before I came here, I unveiled a monument of the people who were executed nearby here by Idi Amin on the 10th of February, 1973. Those who were executed here were 3. On this 45th anniversary of Tarehe Sita. Congratulations. As some people said, if you only talk of Tarehe Sita, you will not do justice to the history of Uganda. Before I came here, by Idi Amin, we are 3. Joseph Mutwari, Karambuzi, and a young man called David Kanjiri. This was is 10 years after, almost 10 years here. As Major Matsko was telling you, the 3 people who were executed here in Kabale, we had others who were after almost 10 years after the events of here. As Major Matsko was telling you, the 3 people who were executed here in Kabale, we had others who were executed in Mbarara, Karhanga, Fort Poto, Malibo, and Kasoro, Kabale, Kampala. They shot a robber who Idi Amin executed in Tarehe and Nkoko. In Mbale, he executed Namirundu. Namirundu was with us. The young boy of 17 years old was with us. But the other man, Masaba, was a former army officer, but he was not with us. Then in Gulu, they executed Rabeja and Obona, who were with us. So when you talk of Tarehe Sita, you should not forget that there were earlier struggles before that, which actually fed the Tarehe Sita. Because the people who took part in Tarehe Sita had been trained by the 28, whom we trained in Mozambique, and who came and trained a bigger number in Tanzania, and then a bigger number in Uganda. So the whole struggle of the people of Uganda should be narrated in a connected way. I have not read the literature to know how you have written it, but I wrote about it in the books. As Major General Matsuko said, it is all there in sowing the mustard seed. So I congratulate Ugandans on these heroic struggles which resulted into Uganda now becoming what it is now. I want to thank and congratulate the people of Uganda for the recent elections which we had. And I thank you, all the Ugandans and the people of Kigezi, for voting massively for the NRM. I want to thank God for visiting Kabale now to celebrate, because today we are celebrating Tarehe Sita, but also celebrating the victory we had recently in the elections. We are celebrating both. Now, I started coming to Kabale in 1964 when we came to play cricket with Butobere. Then I came to Kabale in the resistance against Idi Amin when I came to see Karambuzi and Vitwari, the ones who were killed after some months. Then in 1979-80, we were coming here with Mama to see Mhozi, the general, when he was in Kampala Parents. Kabale Preparatory. They had a school here. We were coming to see Mhozi there. Then afterwards, we came to fight. So I want to thank God that Kabale has played a role in my life for a long time. And now I am here in a happy setting. I want to thank God for that. I want to salute the UPDF and the other security forces for the robust security they gave during the recent elections. They did a very good job. It is true that there were groups who were planning really bad things, but they can't disturb Uganda because our security system is very robust. They're wasting their time. And I salute the APDF for quickly neutralizing those troublemakers. Now, this area of Uganda is very rich. And you are going to get richer if you listen to our advice. The economy of Uganda is growing very fast. We are now a lower middle income country, but we are targeted to become a high middle income country in a few years, and we have the capacity. Here in Kabale, you will have a very strong economy around the following activities. Number one, tourism. You have the mountain gorillas. Then you have, he gave us land somewhere here. Where we're going to build with the ruler of Sharjah, a big airport there, international airport, so that the tourists fly in. They don't have to drive all the way from Entebbe. We're also going to build another huge airport in Mbarara, bigger than even Entebbe, because of the one of Mbarara is mainly for the trade between South America and China. Apparently, that area is the middle point between China and South America, Argentina and Brazil. So this area is going to develop around tourism. It is already developing, but it will develop even more. Secondly, manufacturing. Manufacturing around. No, but before I go to manufacturing, let me talk about commercial agriculture. Although the land is fragmented because of land fragmentation, this land can be very productive with the right enterprises. But we need to add two things. To add the use of fertilizers and the use of irrigation. Because I stopped on the way here coming, and I saw some people growing some few things there, but they don't use fertilizers. They also don't use irrigation. Now, I don't know whether my people have my videos. Can you show these Kabale people the irrigation at Bushenyi, if you have it?
This is where our model plantation is. Plantation which you've had, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of yield per hectare per year. Matoke is very important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. It does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed for use in pilot plant and estate residential areas. This farm, as per NEMA allows us to use third of the water flow. But in the dry season, we even just use 12% of the water flow. So there is still enough water which we can pump. We've already finished the feasibility study to distribute the same irrigation water to the farmers, mainly along the water pipeline. So the structures you are seeing here are mainly to do primary filtration of the water. You have seen the color of the water through that aeration. It's our water in the western region is full of iron. So we always reduce the iron content by passing it through the air. Each of these pumps 40 cubic meters per hour, and it has a lift height of 140 meters. That's why we are pumping it 110 meters from here. Where we are standing is 110 meters below the reservoir where to big pump. You see these ready tanks? Those ready tanks are full of sand. 2 again continue the filtration of the water. We are using drip system, which uses very, very fine water, which should not be having any floating particles to block the system. Many people, when they hear His Excellency talking about 53 tons, people wonder if that's possible or not. You'll be able to see the size of the bunches, the plantation, how it looks like, and how it is irrigated. Each of these plants loses about 20 liters every day through evaporation. So, in other words, you have to replace 20 liters of water for the plant every day. Then we also maintain our.
You can hear the science. Each banana tree loses 20 liters of water per day. Each banana plant loses 20 liters per day. So by irrigating the Ushenyi, we are harvesting 53 tons per hectare per annum. But you have Banyankore there, nearby, who don't irrigate and who don't use fertilizers, they are getting 5 tons. So we are harvesting 10 times more than they are harvesting. This is what must be cured. We must have irrigation and the use of fertilizers in the whole of Uganda, including the Kigezi area. If you do that, and we select high value enterprises like fruits, maybe coffee, some coffee, vegetables, we shall get good money from commercial agriculture on a small scale. So commercial agriculture, tourism, and then manufacturing. Manufacturing will be around agro-processing. If you plant those crops, they must be processed. You already have the example of tea. Tea was doing very well, but the price went down recently. But we are addressing that because I'm glad the price of tea globally did not collapse. Here the price went low because of some mistakes. Number one, not using fertilizers, as already said. But number two, careless harvesting. Otherwise, if we do those, even tea still has got a market, according to what my tea people have told me. But there are other crops like apples, which give very good returns per acre per annum. Coffee, dairy, poultry for eggs, and so on. Even fish farming. I've got a fish pond at Katuna there. Let them see my fish pond. If you don't have the one of Katuna, show them the one you have.
My name is Webesa Emmanuel, the Presidential Hub Manager for Kigezi. Right now, you're at Kigezi Presidential Industrial Hub. We are now introducing, or we have introduced the 4-acre model. We have a banana plantation as our first acre. We have a coffee plantation as our second acre. Then we also have Tarehe there as our third. Then here where we are is our fourth, where we have a fish pond. You're most welcome to Kigezi Presidential Industrial Hub. Here our fish pond, the size is 20 meters by 50 meters. And the capacity we can stock is 10,000 fish. Then the cost of making this pond, as you can see, we used an excavator and a bulldozer, which all costs 26 million. And then the fish each is 500 shillings. And we have catfish here, and in those wrappers, we have tilapia, as you can see. And then we are going to feed this fish for 9 months. After 9 months, it will be ready for sale or for harvest. And the cost of feeds that we shall use in the 9 months will cost only 6 million. So when you get the cost of establishing this fish pond, that is 26 million, then we add 6 million for the feeds. So that one will be 32 million. So at the end of 9 months, after we have harvested, each fish will cost 10,000. So if we get that 10,000 multiplied by the number of fish, it will come to 100 million. This is called a fish tank. And we demonstrate to learners or our visitors, we demonstrate to them, because this is the upper side where we don't have a wetland. But even without a wetland, you can have such. You put in your fish. Here we have 600 catfish. They are making, they are going to make 2 months. So even at home, you can set up this and have your fish. We are also going to harvest this after 9 months. The only difference with the other one is that here,
no, that one is taking long. Is not giving us the Chibaro properly. Show us the one of Lila. But you have heard he's talking a lot. He's not concluding. But you have heard that they are earning 100 million from that pond, which is in half an acre. 100 million shillings. Let's see the other one. The one of Lila is faster.
My name is Dr. Maurice Ochen. I am a commissioner by appointment, deployed at State House, and I've been assigned by the president to execute the 4-acre model. And I've put them so far in 10 regional zones in the country. Now, the 4-acre model is an idea conceived by the president to guide our farmers on how to utilize their small acreages of land so that they can earn more money through intensive farming. And here we are talking about enterprises that have good yields and high income for the household. So we have the fish farming, which is one of the enterprises that can be done near the water without interfering with wetland and tampering with water flow. Then we have the zero grazing unit. On the other side, we have the coffee, we have the banana, and also a household needs food crops as 1 acre plus fruits. So this idea of the 4-acre model is to support income for the household. And as I will go into the small mathematics, you will know that it's capable of pulling somebody out of poverty. Now, specifically on the fish pond, Here is about 20 by 50 meter pond, 1,000 meters squared. After finishing the excavation, we stock 10,000 fish. We feed it for about 8 to 9 months. In the north, which is warmer, the fish grow faster. And in the west, which is a little cold, you add 1 more month to reach the same grams. So by that time, the fish will be about 800 grams to 1.5 kilograms. In the market, the fish, which is 1 kilograms or 800 grams here, cost about 10,000 shillings. So having stock here 10,000 fish, by 10,000, somebody will get 100 million in 1 year. And then when you subtract other cost of managing, which is roughly 30 million, somebody can be able to save 70 million on this fish pond. And this size, we can put 2 of them in 1 acre. So meaning in this particular acre, somebody should be able to get around 140 million shillings.
So you can hear the calculation. It is the same, but the other one was not concluding. Calculation is that a fish pond of 20 meters by 50, which will be in half an acre, will give you 100 million shillings a year. If you deduct costs, you remain with 70 million, higher return. Fish farming in the lowlands, in the highlands, some selected enterprises, but using fertilizer and irrigation. Now, then what you do in agriculture will influence what happens with the manufacturing. You will need factories to process what's produced by agriculture. But in the case of the Kigezi area, we also have minerals. The best minerals in the whole world, the best iron ore of Tarehe. The whole world is here in Kigezi. In Rwanda, Muko, in Butogota, on the other side, we have the iron ore of the hematite class. This is the best in the whole world. There's no other iron ore which is better than this one. That's why we have attracted investors who are going to build one factory here. And I need land quickly. I don't need stories. I told these people the land I need. I don't want game stories. I want land in the Rwanda area. I don't remember the acres that we need, but I've told those who are involved to put there one factory which will upgrade the iron ore on the surface, which people throw away, upgrade it to 62%. Then we had to put the other factory in Tororo. Why? Because iron ore alone cannot make steel. You need coal and other things to come from, which come from outside, and other infrastructure like the railway and so on. So that's why one of the factories will have to be in Tororo. But here, there will be the factory of the upgrading, and then the factory, the work of the mining. The work of the mining. So abachigani mbashaba munda kukizeho mureke abantu banjye beje batimbe obutare beje kubashashura habw'itaka ryanyu omba kutimba itaka n'eryawe aha mutwe konka obutare n'obwa gavumenti konka oine kwine musheya naiwe eb'ebiragiro bainemu aho orikumanya ebiragiro aije ashoborere kasheya karumu. So therefore, part of the manufacturing will deal with the issue of steel. Uganda will be a big steel producer in the world because we have got very good iron ore. We have got more than 500 million tons. Even if we use 1 million tons per year, it will take us 500 years to finish the iron ore which is here. So it's a lot of wealth. Then we have got other minerals like coltan, like there's what they call precious minerals. They are all here. So these three will be the base of our economy here. Agriculture, but with irrigation and with fertilizer, not without. Secondly, tourism, and thirdly, manufacturing. We can also have other services like education and health and so on. Those can always be added on because of the good climate here. And also ICT, those can be added on. Ekiraba ningamba omuzungu obugaiga bwaha n'obw'amaani ate nimuseera ekyanga kiitu kumurukwihamu nikakye mbasa kwihamu ekirikukiraho orikutandika n'okuhinga n'okuriisa okuhinga n'okuriisa mutakukozesa rwezo mutakukozesa kushikyerera okwo n'okushiisha nyenda kusiima abantu ba Muhanga Rwamucuucu kuriya Rukiga bakaruga omu ekisharara kyagarukaho nyenda kubasiima nkohereza Prime Minister n'abandi ngu baije bakozesa amaizi ago ag'ekifunjo kukyerera emigongo egyo abari omu migongo batunge amaizi g'okushukyerera rero murebe okweza kwaba kuhango munonga okukira ati okumurikusharura nayoreka orutookye rwange rwa Bushenyi rutwahiire Dr. Muranga omunyasayansi orutookye orwo natema tani 53 omu hectare nakiza abanyankore bariya abamuherereire emirundi 10 okweza ebitoki hariho ebyenyanja aha Katuna abantu bange bariyo nibashoroma sente omuhika emwe nibasa kwiha miliyoni 140 baheza kwihaho ezi bakukozesa mbwene ekyo n'orubaju rumwe orumukwasa kugira entaasya y'amaani obuhingi n'oburiisa obukukozesa ebirikubangira ebirikubangira enablers rwezo n'okushikera era hazaho tourism obutayayi oburambuzi ebyo nibimanya omurimo gwaitu n'okureeba ngu twaziteera korasi twatandikire nambere ngu terikuruga katuna erikuza omu rubanda nibagiteera korasi na zirya ezikuza kurya omu nyamushumba erikuziteera korasi zoona hamwe n'ekishaayi nituza kwombeka ekishaayi ky'amaani ahi nze yatwire itaka ngu naha haihi tihare munonga niko bakungira kandi n'ekya kisoro nakyo nituza kukihangusya kukyongerayo ebiro ebihwere nkaruga kuhandiika ebaraha neikiriza esente kuruga omu African Development Bank kurehisya ekishaayi ekya kisoro kukyongerayo obureingwa n'okukiteera kutaho korasi aha runaway so amahega ago ashatu obuhinyi n'oburiisa oburimu okushukyerera n'okukozesa orwezo ebyoburambuzi hamwe n'amakorero kukira munonga n'obutare ebindi eby'omwitaka eby'omuhendo na coltan aho hoona birwaha nahabweki ekicweka kyaitu eki nikiija kutunguuka okukira hati okukiri nayemerera hariya harikushuuma abantu babahingira otucooro aho ntotucooro oturimwihamu ki n'obukunena konka ngu nukunena konka nga titukwenda obukunena konka nitwenda ebintu ebirikurugamu sente nyingi kubakenuura muri omu bworo. I congratulate everybody and I thank you for having voted for the NRM. I congratulate all the freedom fighters. And as you can see, Uganda is doing very well in many of the sectors. The people have been left behind. We are also going to pay a lot of attention to them. You have seen how PDM has helped. We are going to enhance it and also spend more money in the towns. Towns have got many people. They need more money for the ghetto children so that they get capital to start with. I thank you and I wish you good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. A very big round of applause for our chief guest. He is a teacher and is always educating Ugandans on how to get out of poverty, on how to lead a more prosperous life. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, as you assume your seat, we are at the tail end of the program. The next item will be a presentation or award of honors, and this event will be headed by the Master of Ceremonies of the Chancery, Brigadier General Richard Karemire. Brigadier Karemire, you are welcome to the podium to take us through the award of honors on this occasion of the 45th Tarehe Sita here at NTC Kabale.
Your Excellency the President, sir, I request your permission to ride on the protocol already laid out by previous speakers so that I can proceed, sir. I am Brigadier General Richard Karimire, the Master of Ceremony of the Chancery. On this great day, when we celebrate the 45th anniversary of the last phase of our protracted people's armed struggle, His Excellency the President and the Fountain of Honor has pursuant powers conferred upon him by Section 18 of the National Awards Act 2001, Section 3, granted awards to the following. 1. The Kabale Star Medal, the second highest military decoration, is awarded for gallantry to Resistance Officer 08643 General Mhoz Kainerugaba, the UPDF Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor for Special Operations. General Kainerugaba made significant contributions to human resource transformation within the UPDF by inspiring and mobilizing many Ugandans to join the force. He was initiated into officership through training at the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, alongside other strategic military courses. He was subsequently deployed to the Presidential Protection Unit, where he assumed leadership roles that enabled its transformation into the Presidential Guard Brigade, later the Special Forces Group, and ultimately its expansion and elevation into the Special Forces Command. Within the Special Forces Command, he was appointed commander responsible for paratroopers and commandos. In 2007, he gallantly participated in the defeat of the Allied Democratic Forces and was also involved in special operations under the code name Operation Lightning Thunder, during which he played a critical role in securing the Garamba Forest after weakening the Lord Resistance Army. Throughout his service, General Kainerugaba has demonstrated rare courage and exceptional strategic leadership. These attributes led to his appointment as commander of the Special Forces Service, where he performed with distinction, and he was subsequently appointed Command of Land Forces. He currently serves as the Chief of Defense Forces and Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations to the President in the Office of the President. His legacy remains undeniable. His leadership and command are marked by unwavering dedication and is widely accredited for shaping the Uganda People's Defense Forces into a professional, disciplined, and effective force for peace and stability across Uganda, the region, and the African continent. General Mhoz Kainerugaba has in recent years made great contribution to national and regional stability, as exemplified in the TESO pacification and normalization of relations with the brotherly Republic of Rwanda. General Mhoz Kainerugaba is also the author of Battles for the Ugandan Resistance, a tradition of maneuver, published by Fountain Publishers, Kampala, Uganda, in 2010, and now a military piece in our training institutions. For numerous acts of individual selflessness, courage, valor, bravery, and heroism in the execution of military missions, for his contribution to the social, economic, and political transformation of Uganda, the region, and Africa, for outstanding national mobilization and his unwavering commitment to defending the people's peace in pursuit of strategic security and national development, General Muhoozi is therefore deservingly awarded the prestigious Kabale Star for his conspicuous gallantry and outstanding service to the nation building. Your Excellency, we present you General Muhoozi Kainerugaba for the award of that great decoration. Number 2 is Lieutenant General Kayanja Muhanga, that is awarded the Rwenzori Star Medal. General Kayanja joined the National Resistance Army struggle in 1985 and undertook all the professional military courses in Uganda and abroad. As the Commander Land Forces, Lieutenant General Muhanga is the highest ranking officer responsible for the overall command, readiness, and operational effectiveness of the UPDF ground forces, a responsibility he has executed with diligence and professionalism. He previously commanded operations against Al-Shabaab up to 2022, overseeing force readiness and combat effectiveness in complex operational environments. He has commanded infantry forces at all levels and directly executed strategic missions in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Republic of South Sudan, and Somalia, all aimed at eliminating terrorism and creating a stable region. Lieutenant General Kayanja Muhanga is widely recognized for his profound influence on military operations, with a leadership style that emphasizes discipline, professionalism, and mission effectiveness. Next is Lieutenant General Charles Okidi. Lieutenant General Charles Okidi, the commander of the Uganda People's Defense Forces Air Force since 2022, is a highly distinguished professional aviator whose flying career spans more than 3 uninterrupted decades. As the commander UPDAF, Lieutenant General Okidi has been placed in a position to coordinate Uganda's projection of air power by providing air support to all internal and external operations, as well as professionally executing important VIP missions. Throughout all these operations, Lieutenant General Okidi has demonstrated exceptional bravery, gallantry, and heroic action against armed enemies in service of his country, the region, and the African continent. Next, Resistance Officer 00514, Major General James Kinarwa, Honorable Member of Parliament elect. General James Kinarwa, the Joint Chief of Human Resource Management of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, has been in this office from 2023 to date. Compared by the prevailing security of the time, he joined the People's Protracted Struggle in April 1982 at Kitema Masanga in Semuto. He undertook all professional military courses in the country and abroad that gave him tools to serve in various senior staff and command positions. On numerous occasions, while serving as a commandant, he provided exemplary leadership in command, training, administration, and welfare of both personnel and institutions under his charge. Through his exceptional ability, personal initiative, and total dedication to duty, Major General James Kinarwa has consistently reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Brigadier General Jimmy Musoke is the Deputy Commander of the Joint Staff Brigade Group. He joined the People's Protracted Struggle on 15th May 1983 at Kiwanguzi in Wero District. He commanded various military units and excelled in operations against the Lord Resistance Army and ADF, significantly contributing to peace. Next is Brigadier General Justice Ruabarire Rukundo. Brigadier General Justice Rukundo is the commandant of the Oliver Tambo School of Leadership and the Pan-African Center of Excellence at Kaweta. Next is Colonel retired Samson Mande. His early commitment to liberation efforts saw him serve as a volunteer scout with the Task Force Division of the Tanzania People's Defense Forces under Major General Silas Mayonga during the 1979 war. He actively participated in and commanded numerous battles under the National Resistance Army and later the Uganda People's Defense Forces, while he distinguished himself through exceptional gallantry and leadership. He was among the renowned 41 patriots who launched the liberation struggle armed with only 27 guns. Colonel Samson Mande attended military courses that built his professionalism and later prepared him to be the first commandant of the Junior Staff College. And later he served in a foreign mission, and later while living abroad acquired vast international experience that can be applied towards national development. Colonel Bernard Buzabo is also awarded the National Independence Diamond Jubilee. Colonel Colin Ainomugisha, Colonel Emmanuel Muhozi, Colonel Francis Ndiabugwamo, Colonel Chris Seryange Damurira, who is the Director of Intelligence in the Special Forces Command. Colonel Damurira is a passionate and committed officer who has consistently fought against corruption, subversive tendencies, and institutional irregularities, ensuring command and staff hygiene at strategic, operational, and tactical levels. His efforts have safeguarded institutional resources and addressed numerous investigations, including those involving siphoning of funds, logistics, document forgery, impersonation, and terrorism. Next recipient is Lieutenant Colonel Robert Kamuntu, followed by Lieutenant Colonel Simon Tungura, followed by Lieutenant Colonel Godfrey Barugahare Katebuchi, followed by Lieutenant Colonel Roland Kasiga Bwebare. Next recipient is Lieutenant Colonel Junior Mzambiri Kulaba, followed by Lieutenant Colonel Santo Duara Ocheng, followed by Lieutenant Colonel Edgar Msasizi. Next, Major Rugwetiri Nicholas Kakuru, followed by Major More Harriet Dudu, followed by Major Moses Asimwe, and Captain Lucenicor Etoru. Next recipient is Lieutenant Sharon Manyari Namwenje, who is the head teacher at our Bombo Army Barracks Primary School. Next recipient is Warrant Officer Yawe Jime, followed by Corporal Achiro Marasto Rehema, and Mr. Owembabazi Robert. The Dam Medal is awarded posthumously to Resistance Officer 165, Junior Officer 2, Charles Tunamasco. Late Charles Tunamasco joined the Liberation Forces in 1979 in Isindro, and later actively participated in the climax of the people's protracted struggle in 1981 against the dictatorship in Uganda. Tragically, he was killed in 1985 during the advance that led to the takeover on 25th January 1986. Her daughter is here to receive the medal in his absence. The Ruwero Triangle is awarded to Captain Asen Wegei, Second Lieutenant David Ivan Tumsime, Sergeant Retired Sabajon, and the National Independence Diamond Jubilee is awarded to the following prisons officers. Mr. Mukonde de Gracias, the Superintendent of Prisons, Assistant Superintendent of Prisons, Mr. Opira Martin, Mr. Mahanji Oyera, Mr. Opio Patrick is the Principal Officer, Mr. Tsasi William, the Chief Warder, and from the police, the National Independence Diamond Jubilee is awarded to Corporal Opale Isaac, and posthumous award is extended to Businge Ronald. The late PC Businge Ronald was passed on following an attack by suspected ADF rebels who stabbed him with machetes, pangas, while he was deployed at a traffic checkpoint in Ruwero. He is recognized for his sacrifice to his motherland. Long Service Medal is awarded to Olira Justin, to Apolot Annette, Tude Tito, Augustus, and Musime Milton. We extend our deepest congratulations to all those awarded today and also encourage them to wear these medals on such national functions. The media will be provided the opportunity to produce in detail citations of all the comrades who have been mentioned, but their citations not given in full. I wish to thank the Honorable Minister for the Presidency, the Chair of the Presidential Awards Committee, and the staff at the Chancery for organizing this short ceremony. I submit, Your Excellency, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Master of Ceremonies of the Chancery, for the job well done. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, as we come to the end of this momentous event, permit me to recognize the additional people in attendance. The Honorable Minister of State for Works, Honorable Musa Ichweru, the Honorable Member of Parliament-elect, Lydia Wanyoto, Mbale City, the Honorable Okiror, MP Usuk in Katakwi, and the Head of the Secretariat, Major Martha Asimwe. Your Excellency, there's also a group from the diaspora who traveled all the way from Europe and North America and are here with us. They are Timothy Senyonga, the team leader, Mr. Ronald Luanga, Mr. John Agaba, Asha Kasule, Brian Coker, Rosette Mwesije, Titus Seruga, Lilian Nachambade, Juliet Kahakani, and Mr. Kwame Ruyondo. Your Excellency, we are almost there, but I request you to permit me to invite at least two groups to give us quick entertainment. One is the Mtoto wa Jeshi, who will come here and present a Tarehe Sita song, and the Chahi group from Kisoro. And as they conclude, we will have the African Revolutionary Voices to give us one song. We know whose favorite it is, and that song is called Kino Chechisera. That will be our last item on agenda this evening. We don't have much time. Miss Leah mtoto wa jeshi, a daughter of Warrant Officer 1 Edith of UPDF. Please come on the stage. Miss Leah and the Chahi group from Kisoro, please come closer and be on standby.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency and Mama. I'm Captain Dan Bashisha. I lead this African Revolutionary Voices and I work in internal security organization. Chino Chechisera Mzee, your favorite.
No, Leah, that's first. Leah. We'll now have Miss Leah to come and take us through her presentation.
And I would love to congratulate you. And this is the song that I wrote. Tarehe Sita, the fight for freedom we celebrate.
Thank you very much, Historical Group. That has been outstanding. Thank you very much. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, we have come to the end of this Tarehe Sita function, the 45th anniversary here at the NTC grounds in Kabale. We thank all of you who braved the weather and the long drive from Kampala to make it here and celebrate with the Uganda People's Defense Forces and the people of Kabale and Greater Kigezi region. In a special way, I also want to thank the First Lady and Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Museveni. She has always been there for the President and Commander-in-Chief, and therefore there for the National Resistance Army and the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Thank you, Mama. She's always, every time, on Muzee's side. Thank you very much, the Chisoro Group. Thank you, our chief guest, His Excellency the President, and distinguished guests. Thank you, Mama Janet and the Honorable Minister of Education and Sports for gracing this auspicious occasion. Your Excellency, we are coming to the end of this event. Departure will be as follows. We don't want confusion at the end of this function when people begin to leave. So we should remain seated and orderly. His Excellency and His Entourage will be the first to leave, followed by Her Excellency the Vice President, followed by the Chief Justice, followed by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the third Deputy Prime Minister, and those will be followed by our former national leaders, led by our Prime Ministers Emeritus, and then the Honorable Ministers, followed by the Chief of Defense Forces and his guests. The rest should remain seated and organized. The band give us the national anthems in reverse order. Thank you, all of you, for coming to Kabale and celebrating with the UPDF and the people of Kabale and Kigezi on this special occasion of the 45th Tarehe Sita anniversary. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. The band. We may resume our seats. And our DJ, there was a group called the Kajuguta group. Are they still here? This is a chance for you to give these very honorable guests some entertainment. This is the Chijuguta Cultural Group from Kabale district. As they come to the stage, our DJ give us some revolutionary inspiration. Our distinguished guest, His Excellency the President, there is the CDF's luncheon at golf course next to White Horse Inn Hotel. We've been here a long day. There is food and refreshments waiting for you after here. So let's converge at the golf course near White Horse Inn Hotel. The Kishuguta group, this was your chance. You should have been on the stage by now.